I'm going to try to make this a very brief tutorial about getting started with IndyMagic. This is by no means a full-blown tutorial. If you look at the welcome page, you have these 8 steps. You should try to follow them more or less in order, and those pages are actually laid out in order in the menu bar here. So let's use our Forrest Gump example to continue to schedule this, the first 4 pages from the screenplay of Forrest Gump. We're going to go to the info sheet to start with. You can fill this out if you like. You don't have to. If you have a logo that you can copy to the clipboard, do a paste here. It will actually paste in. And this information will show up on any correspondence generated by the contacts module of IndyMagic. Going to locations, you may have in your copy of IndyMagic one or more dummy locations put in so that you can see how it's supposed to work. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and edit this. Start with location number 1. Make sure each one has a unique number. And our first, we'll call it Savannah Main Street. It's in the town, the city of Savannah. And let's say we're going to shoot this on Zion Street in front of, whatever, a shop or something like that in Hartford, Connecticut. I don't know. And if you have contact information, this is a great thing to put in because you may have to call them if you're running behind or if you have an extra request or something they called you or whatever. You got to get back to them. Okay, so that's the idea. I'm going to do another one for location number 2. Looking through my script breakdown sheets. We're going to call this one... and did I put... I guess I forgot to put that this is an exterior. There we go. And location number 2 is an interior. Oops. Doctor's office. Do a new one. Exterior. Oh, IndyMagic just crashed. Isn't that nice? This may happen to you. Just reopen it. New. I got to get this code updated. Exterior. Location number 4. Exterior. Oops, that didn't take. Etc., etc. Okay, that's how you fill out your locations. You can also go to a main view that gives you much more information. So if you have directions or notes, if you have lots of contact information, you can do that. You can switch views. You can even paste in Google Maps if you want to into this box. You can paste graphics. Okay. All right, we're going to go back to the list view and let's move on. Okay, we're going to do the same thing with the cast. I'm going to edit this dummy entry. All right, so we'll call the first one Forrest Gump. He's cast new. We're going to call the next one, I just do them in order that they show up, basically. Nurse. We'll call her Jane. Actress, and she speaks, so she's cast. New. Young Forrest, that's a different actor. Mrs. Gump, Sally Field, cast. Fantastic. Moving on. Breakdowns. So you'll see that these sheets are familiar. Okay, so for the first one, we're going to edit. We're going to just choose. See, this is nice. Once you've filled out this, you can just select it. Okay, so this is Savannah Main Street. It's exterior. We're changing this from the dummy entry, okay? And what's the page count? You've already written that on your breakdown sheet, probably 1 6/8. We don't know when we're going to shoot it, so we're going to leave this for now. Scene description. Feather floats. Forrest chats with nurse. The real location, it pops in because we selected the movie location, so that populates. Okay, who's in this scene? If you know the number, I'm not sure you can select it by number. I'm just going to delete that. I don't think you can. So you got to choose Forrest Gump. And next one is the nurse. And it doesn't matter what order you put these in. And we're going to have, we forgot some characters. Let's go back and add one. We're going to call Street Extras. And then who else do we have? Oh yeah, there's another one. one of the scenes, there's old cronies, I think they call them. I don't know who's going to play these people. It doesn't matter. They're both, well, extras and then silent, meaning a featured part but doesn't speak, okay? Okay, so breakdown. Here we go. We're definitely under extras. We're going to put street extras, okay? And we have this feather. We don't know how we're going to do that. Maybe, you know, with fishing wire and something. So it is probably a special effect. They did it with CGI. Props, lots of them, right? So start entering. It's a free-form box. Just return after every entry. Box of chocolates. Let's put with extra chocolates. Okay, because we got to do several takes, and it's got to be a full brand new box. Vehicles, well, we know there's going to be vehicles that are already there that we're going to hope to use and capture on camera. There's a stopped car that we're going to have to be probably responsible for. There's a passing car that has to do what we want it to do. And there's a bus, okay? Wardrobe, only the stuff that's out of the ordinary are specifically called mud-soaked, shoe, nurse outfit, bus bench, in case we're not filming where there's already one existing. Floating feather, let's make an extra note. When in doubt, make extra notes. Redundancy is good. Floating feather, right. Okay, so we've done it. Now we do a new one. Okay, this is scene number 2. We're going to try to do this really fast. Set name, doctor's office, scene description, etc. Okay, Young Forest. I'm going to make a note that this is 1951. Okay, new. Scene number 3. This is a sort of wacky comic scene where Forrest explains where he got his name. I guess I missed something. So you can always go back. You see, this is fine. So I'm going to go back. I forgot. I need number 8. General Nathan Forrest. And I know we also need Klansmen. So they're featured. They're not really we'll call them silent bits, okay? And back to our breakdowns, okay? Oops. We're gonna Nathan Forrest and the Klansmen here. Clan garb, and then we need garb for the horses. Oh, the scene starts as a still photo. That's how it's called in the screenplay. So there on the set, that's an important note because you're going to want to, before every take, you're going to want to take a still high resolution photo and then start the scene, right? So that the photo will fade into the scene. That's how it's called in the script. Also, never hurts, even though it's just woods and white bedsheet Klan dudes, never hurts to remind everybody in your art department that it's still 1951. Scene number 4. We only have the first page of it in great. Okay, and so that's it. Once you've done this, you go to your strip board and you'll see we have these colorful strips, one for each scene. The color is deliberate, okay? If it's a day exterior, it's yellow. If it's a day interior, it's pink. If it's night interior, it's blue. And let's see, if it's night exterior, it's green. And this is a visual aid. This is just how it's done in the industry. Sometimes you have to click away. And Indie Magic needs a certain amount of finesse. Okay, so the idea is now we're going to schedule this thing. So you try to group it by when your actors, the same actors, are working, so that you don't have actors who, you know, you have to have them working for the whole show, when really you could just have them working for a couple days and then send them home, you know, so you group all those scenes. But there's an art to scheduling this. So if we decide, okay, I want to shoot all the exterior stuff together, I'm going to say, I want this on day 1. I also want this on day 1. I want this on day 1. And I'm going to do this on day 2. And then I can click this to sort that way. All right, so you see how this works? This is our day 1 now. It says end of day 1. It totals up the pages on that day. And then here's our day 2. And it totals that as well. We can also do the shoot order. I can say, all right, you know, I want to take the biggest scene first, and I think that's going to be this one, maybe the one with the bust, that and the feather and the whole thing. Yeah, I want to get that done first, okay? Then I want to go to the next biggest scene for whatever reason, because it's also in a main street or whatever. Okay, I'm going to shoot that second, and then I'm going to do the woods last, because that's easy, okay? And if you ever need to resort, just keep clicking that, it'll resort. You can also sort by scene number if you want to find stuff. It removes the day separator strips because it's no longer separated by shoot days. And as soon as you resort it by shoot days, the separator strips, the day strips, reappear. So here's what's cool about this, okay? You can print this out and you can reschedule and reorder very easily, but you can also see all this great information, okay? At a glance, you can see who's required for that scene and tell your assistants your assistant director, staff, right? Yeah, your best friend who's helping you, maybe, who we're going to need. Moving on to shoot dates. When you're scheduling a real production, you want to shoot everything together. I usually try to shoot 5 days. Some shoot 6. Very few shoot 7. You'll burn out a crew, unless it's just a 7-day shoot. Anybody can do 7 straight days and then be done. And then you put in your start date. So, if we're starting tomorrow, that would be 2/22 2017. Did I get that right? Okay. And we're going to say it's going to be 7 days on a 5. We're going to shoot 5 days a week. We make a new schedule, and all that really does, it gives you your days, leaving out your Sundays or your Saturdays and Sundays, depending on what you specified. But it also it puts these dates in. See, so it's very handy. And then when you move on to your call sheets, it also puts the dates. You'll get one call sheet for every date. So your date is here. This is your first day of shooting, etc., etc. Call sheets the yellow parts are the parts that you fill in. So you tell them when you want them to be there. You say, well, I want you in makeup at 6 a.m. and I want you on set by... Okay, how are you going to get there? When you're doing a real production, they're not responsible for their transportation. You're responsible for their transportation. Props. I guess you have to click the update button. I'll have to fix that someday. Okay, so click the little update button and then it populates in. Any special instructions you want to add for call sheet day. And then here's a cool thing that this call sheet does is it tells you your order and locations and all this great info, and it tells you tomorrow. It gives you an advanced schedule and the next day. It tells you what you've got coming up so that you can refer to that and the actors can refer to that. And these are special notes of any kind. It's a free-form field. You can put anything you want in there. Cover set. It's if it rains. What are you going to shoot? Well, you're probably going to shoot the interior doctor's office, right? So... all right, and you can put in sunrise, sunset, and what the weather's expected to be. That's second assistant director work. They fill out the call sheets every day. If something's not populating, I think you can, or your cast is messed up, just hit these buttons and it'll, see, look at that. See, it popped in the correct cast. It pops in the correct props. So we need to put in the next call sheet. And, oh, I see. And then we need to select day 2. And everything populates in. We'll double check that everything's gotten populated in. Fine. And then we'll do another call sheet. So the call sheets are not generated automatically, I guess. And we'll call this day 3. Once you get here, it will tell you when your actors are working, which days they're working on. This is the first thing that an agent will want to see. They want to know, do you have a day out of days sheet? How many days out of all your days is my actor working? They want to know, because they want to make sure they're getting paid and all that. And they want to also make sure they're not working then off, working then off, working then off, because they can't really live their life if that's the way you're scheduling them. So they're going to bill you for every day, even the off days. That's how it works. Okay, so this is a really, really valuable sheet for scheduling. I don't recommend using the contacts module. You can if you want. It's not very good. You probably have a better one on your phone, but you can if you want to. And there you have it. This is the just the surface, the fundamentals of Indie Magic.